And welcome to Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into this Tuesday's episode, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over there, you get some nice bonus content. No main show content is locked behind there, though, and it's only $5 a month, and you help support us. But you know what? Let's get into this week. Ryan's stand-up special is coming on there very soon. Just wanted to plug that really quickly. He's going to talk about really funny stuff. I'm talking about like airplane food, how much he hates.
I'm gonna be playing at the Ridya comedy festival that everyone's talking about so much.
Oh wow, they paid you like 50 million to get you over there, and all your morals washed away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm
Money
excited.
talks.
Yeah, just like Bill Burr, like everybody. There's so many people going to that thing. It's insane. That's like a crazy. That's already a news thing in itself. I wonder how dated that'll be, because when that's like on October 7th.
Is it? I didn't even look at the date.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, because I don't want to get into it. I don't want to. Let's not get into it. Let's just get into this episode. Let's talk about Big Bad Mama from 1974, directed by Steve Carver, starring Angie Dickinson, William Shatner, Tom Skerritt, and who's the producer on this one? Roger Corman. I should have known that Roger had his hands in this one. To be honest with you, Ryan, this is another one that I just kind of picked. I feel like I've heard of this movie. It does have a little bit of a cult status. Main thing is the cast. Just William Shatner being in a movie just makes me laugh a little bit. Just any movie. So that's always worthy for a bit in here.
Anytime William Shatner's in the movie, you're just busting a gut.
I am.
Like you're watching like the old Star Trek movies. You're just laughing.
Yeah. Star Trek: The Motion Picture, funniest movie I've ever seen.
Not laugh every minute.
Yeah, but the whole time I was like, when is William Shatner gonna hang? Well, you know what? He gets very close to it in this one, so I was a happy fellow. So this one, it's funny. I'm reading the Wikipedia now, so it's right here in plain sight. It says Big Bad Mama is a 1974 American action crime sexploitation comedy film. Yes, it is. This movie is filthy. It's actually, I was surprised.
That's quite gross.
I was surprised the depths that this movie was willing to go. So from the start, it's Big Bad Mama, played by Angie Dickinson. Her name is Wilma in this movie, and her 2 daughters, Billie Jean
Pebbles.
Pebbles. What's the Dino? Bam Bam. You don't forget the pet, which is the baby doll. No, it's Billy G. Well, actually, isn't Tom? Yeah, Tom Skerritt's character is Fred. So interesting.
Wait, is it Fred?
It says Fred Diller. That's what.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay, so so that was on purpose, right? You don't name
that had
your
to be on purpose.
Yeah.
That had to be on purpose. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's actually now it's not funny.
Well, William Shatner should have been Barney then.
I know, that would have been great. Weird. But anyway, they're running away from an abusive home. The mom and her 2 daughters, and already they're supposed to play young, and one of the daughters has her boobs just hanging out of her top, just like coming out. One of them is a little less innocent. One is innocent with a baby doll, kind of like one's more sexually active, I should say, because that's what this movie is about. That's right from the start. There's nudity, and I was like, okay, this is fine. It's a 70s like exploitation flick. God, this movie is dirty. But that doesn't happen until a little bit later. What it is it's kind of an episodic movie. Honestly, the way it felt was like a cobbled together movie, almost like a TV show where it's like Wilma and her daughters do something that's crime related. They have the effects of that, and then they just repeat that over and over again, just doing different crimes. It's very, personally, I thought it was disjointed.
Yeah, there was I didn't like. There was no like really concrete thread or like no end game or anything like that. It's just like do crimes and then Okay, now that one's over. Let's go to the next one type of thing. And where I want to go back to the girls though. Like, how old do you think that they're supposed to be? Like, honestly.
They both can get married. So that at
Well, that
least,
doesn't mean anything because that's in the 30s and like 12-year-olds and stuff like that could get married back then.
oh yeah. I think they're playing pretty young. They're definitely under 18. I want to say at least like 15 to 16 somewhere
Yeah,
in that.
it's like a very inappropriate age.
Yeah, especially because like the imagery with the innocent one is that she still plays with dolls and she talks a little more childlike and she has sex scenes in this movie and it's very gross and all I could think of is like, yeah, this is a Corman flick. I mean, like he has the stamp of just like sleaze, like, and it is, the politics of this movie are very gross. Like I get it, it's 30 South, so they're kind of playing a little bit into that, but it's still like I don't need to see this.
No, it's very like they're trying. It very much feels like they're doing it like purely out of shock. Like, oh, like
Oh,
see, look how in your face these are.
exactly. Like, oh, look, they're hanging out for you. Um, I do think it was funny that so there are two multiple sex scenes, I should say, and Angie Dickinson. I guess this is a funny story. A little bit ahead, William Shatner shows up. They have a sex scene, but I guess William Shatner in his biography was talking about how like, oh, he really wanted a closed set for their sex scene. But I guess over time, Angie Dickinson started adding more and more people. It's like, oh, I want to be comfortable without my makeup person, my costume person. So more and more people got added into this like sex scene.
Start pulling strangers off the street.
I won't be careful. I won't feel as good if homeless Dave from a corner isn't here watching.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, and I mean, I am pretty sure William Shatner is like completely nude here because he is almost showing it all. He doesn't show it all, but it's funny to see him in this role being like that naked because he's you know he's a little tubby. He's a little tubby, and his sex scene he's like rubbing all over with his
Hunched
hands.
over, like
Yeah,
his belly's hanging out.
yeah, it's something else. But that's so ahead in the movie because the beginning of the movie is Wilma and the two daughters, and kind of from the start they get into bootlegging, and they get caught because they are going around selling this to like pimps and prostitutes, stuff like that. But the innocent daughter, she tries to sleep with somebody, and that gets them in trouble. I also forgot to say that it starts with a marriage, and Wilma breaks up the marriage because she doesn't like any men and decides that it isn't good enough for her daughters. Um, but after the
Because they
boot,
don't that did they say why like she didn't want like that particular guy or like because I mean it sounded like they were like her daughter was trying to be forced into that marriage at some in some way.
that's what it sounded like, that it was like a forced marriage, but she didn't seem like she was totally against the marriage. She didn't really show
No.
any distress. I mean, that's kind of the theme of this movie because that kind of happens again later because there's a scene where the two daughters become strippers for a group of men and they seem like okay with it. It's something they want. And then Wilma's like, no, no, we cannot let this happen, and breaks them away. So it's almost like she's just overprotective.
I thought that woman because they're stripping on stage with another stripper, and then for a while I thought that was Angie Dickinson like on stage, and it's just like the mom and her two daughters just stripping, and I'm like,
Wow, Angie Dickinson has stripping skills. Wow. Because like you in that scene you can tell the two girls don't know how to strip and the girl in the middle is obviously like whoever they got is like an actual stripper because she's like taking off her clothes, spinning her tassels, doing it like professionally. Yeah.
I wasn't looking at her face.
Yeah, you were that's Angie right there. Yeah. Do you think that scene was all Corbin?
Oh yeah, it was just like we need, we don't have enough tits in this movie.
Oh my, could you imagine saying that about this movie?
I
Um,
mean, I could see like something like I mean, maybe I not that exaggerated, but I could see them just being like, "Oh, well, like the whole point of this movie is this, it's it's showing how corrupted they are by crime, and how sex plays a part in that. And so
Oh.
we gotta have more nudity in this movie because of that sort
That's
of.
very intellectual of you. Yeah, I think New World Pictures was like the A24 of
Yeah.
their time. At least I think so. um, but one of the grossest scenes in this movie is unrelated to sex, though, and I don't know if you agree, but they have to break the daughter out of jail because she actually fights a cop who tries to take her away, and the main sheriff is eating a jelly donut with his finger, and he has the jelly all over his
Oh
shirt,
yeah.
and he's just like really sucking on his
It,
finger. Who eats
mm,
jelly donuts that way?
that whole scene, like my OCD for like that sort of thing, I was just like, like it was just like you got the jelly all over your shirt. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's got to be sticky and gross. Like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine. He's
And
sucking
there's
on
like
his
fly
finger.
that you could hear like the flies buzzing around them and everything too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is disgusting. One of the worst scenes in this movie, but kind of funny. But yeah, so keeping up with like what I was talking about, that whole bootlegging part of the movie's done. So they decide to start robbing people. And this is where Tom Skerritt's character comes into the movie because they are going to write a fake check, and then he breaks in and tries to rob the place, but then they end up stealing his take of the money, and so it's by chance they all get together to be criminals, and then Tom and her become a thing. This movie feels like a Bonnie and Clyde ripoff the more I like think about it. That is purely what it's going for.
That's what I was thinking of like the whole time. I'm like, the whole reason this movie exists is because of Bonnie and Clyde, which,
Hmm.
it's like set in that vague same time period. And
Hmm.
it's also like people in the South on the run, and they're doing like these crimes, and they get more and more violent type of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's definitely influenced by it, and also shocking because I mean that movie is shocking, more in violence than it is sex, but it's still like in your face, and this kind of has that same vibe. And then I thought this would develop a romance between the two, but but that actually changes because William Shatner shows up and he's like this kind of a rich Southern man. Well, he's broke, but he has the air of someone who's rich and hoity-toity, maybe is the word I would use. And William Shatner he's hamming it up, man. He's the master of it.
Yeah, so it's funny, like you mentioned like how you heard. I remember hearing about this movie a long time ago,
Really,
um, because James Rolfe did like a video, and he called
really.
it, yeah, he did like top 10, like he called it top 10 shitty Shatner movies.
Is this movie on that list?
Yeah, this movie's on
Wow,
that list.
that's
And
funny.
so like so when you recommended it, I'm like, is this the movie with William Shatner? And I'm like, oh, yep, that's what it is. So,
That's so funny. Do you-
and yeah, he really hams up. He's doing like that, like I'm just a simple Southern man, like type of thing.
and he's making silly faces like this whole movie. And like him and Tom do not get together like well together at all. But Tom is obviously more aggressive and like yells at William Shatner the whole movie, and William just kind of he takes it. Like he's like a little baby for most of this
Well,
movie.
like because William Shatner, he's about to punch like Tom Skerritt's character, and he's like, like, come on, put up your dukes, type of thing.
Hmm.
And then Tom Skerritt just like pulls out a gun and like points it at him. He's like, well, that ain't fair, like
Yeah.
type of thing.
Which is like, I actually think that like that dynamic is maybe the funnier part of the movie. Maybe the part I enjoyed more than anything was like because Tom Skerritt gets really jealous of the whole situation because William Shatner and Angie Dickinson they get into a relationship together and they get close to each other.
Well,
Um,
well, yeah, like that's another thing I didn't really understand. It's just like she's kind of like she sleeps with Tom Skerritt,
yeah.
and again, very gratuitous sex scene
Oh yeah.
between
All of
them.
them.
And I thought it was funny, like they were like rolling around the bed, and but like they were just like rolling, but like they had like a piece of like blanket like covering their crotch areas, like
Yeah, just in the right spot, right?
yeah, yeah, like totally boobs out type of thing, but like crotch just like totally covered type
No,
of thing.
none of that. Even though
Yeah.
there's one scene late in the movie where Angie Dickinson she bears it all for a whole scene.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh yeah.
surprised to get to sign up for a movie like this because I mean like Angie Dickinson she's done like she did prestigious stuff. Like I think about like Rio Bravo is one of them. I feel like she'd been in movies for a while at this point. Maybe her career was on a decline.
Well, yeah, I mean that she did a lot of stuff like that. There was always Dress to Kill as well.
Yes, yeah, which that one's great. She gets a pass for that one because it's good.
Mm.
Uh,
The high art,
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it was totally
That was
meaningful.
that was meaningful art.
But
Yeah,
no, but yeah, she sleeps with Tom Skerritt, and immediately, it's like, oh, we're a couple type of thing. And then William Shatner comes along, and she kind of just like pushes Tom Skerritt to the side, and like is only sleeping with William Shatner, I guess, at that point.
yeah. She becomes a one man woman.
And Tom Skerritt is like, wow, that little no good rotten son of a,
No, dag
and then
nabbit.
like the girl, like one of the daughters, like ends up sleeping with him, like, oh well, you don't have to be alone, type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they have a sex scene together. Which once again, there's a scene where Tom Skerritt like he's like cleaning out his like toenails in bed, completely naked, and like he's got like his leg raised up, and I was scared. I was like, oh my god, like his butthole is like out on like this set prop bed, just like he's like right because I'm pretty sure he was naked, and I was like, oh, that's so gross.
He's Tom
um,
Skerritt was just showing off.
yeah. He was. I'm ready for my close up.
God.
um, but where this movie, and when I say like this movie is gross, this is the plot line I'm really thinking of. Um, the one daughter is like, oh, my sister, she's really lonely in there. Brings her sister in, and both sisters sleep with Tom Skerritt at the same time. There and Tom Skerritt gets one of the daughters pregnant, not the main one that he's been going steady with, but the other girl gets pregnant. And I was like, wow, this is I thought this was a disgusting plot line because it's kind of played for laughs a little bit. It's not serious enough to tackle it.
Yeah, well, like when it's revealed that she's pregnant, it's just like it's like it's almost like, well, I was trying to sleep with you. Like he like it's almost played off like he was like he's like, well, the only reason why I slept with your daughters is because you would sleep with me. I would have slept with you if you didn't. I wouldn't have slept with them if you slept with me, type of thing. Like that's supposed to
Yeah.
be like that's supposed to be like a romantic like plot point, I think. Like which is like it's
Yeah.
like you were the one I wanted this whole time, not your daughters. I mean, yeah, I still slept with them, but
And I got one of them pregnant.
if you had just slept with me in the first place, this wouldn't have happened, type of thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, they play that off for laughs, and like like it's trying to be like this big romantic moment because William Shatner, at a certain point, because there's like murder involved, and he's just like, I don't want any part of this type of thing because
Hmm.
he's like a con man, like he doesn't want to use guns or anything like that. And after he kind of runs off, Tom Skerritt, like after he basically like confesses to Angie Dickinson, and then she goes back to sleeping with Tom Skerritt. I'm just like, this man has slept with your daughters, and you're just
Yep,
like,
back
yeah,
to it.
yeah, like that is so gross.
The whole sex part of this movie is awful. Also, I felt like them I get it, they were depraved and they were just getting worse and worse crimes, but they end up kidnapping a daughter, and that's the reason that William Shatner leaves. And they treat her pretty rough, I guess, because like he grabs her boob, Tom Skerritt, and is just like, I've never touched a rich girl's boob. I was like, oh God. It was tough. But she gets out and
After Tom Skerritt almost sleeps with her too.
yeah, man, Tom Skerritt is getting it all in this movie. Crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, and then he gets away, and it kind of ends in like this big escape scene, which is actually one of the better parts of the movie because there's a big car chase, and it actually is maybe one of the times that there's a good budget because there's car crashes going on, some killing. That was fun. This movie needed a little more of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was kind of wanting more of like maybe this movie. I was kind of hoping like since this was kind of like a crime exploitation type of movie, or even like a Bonnie and Clyde ripoff, I was kind of expecting like a lot more like violence type of thing, or like
Yeah.
more crime part. Like maybe like things start going south and they start murdering people and that sort of
Mhm.
thing. But we don't really get that too much, I don't think, because I mean
No.
at the end of the movie it kind of turns into like a big shootout because William Shatner has ratted them out and basically told them like because he gets captured by the cops and tells them where their hideout is because they're known criminals at this point,
Hmm.
and there's a big shootout at the end of the movie.
Yeah, yep, yeah. And then what? And the end of the movie, um, Wilma gets shot, and she's given her daughters a new life, right? And it's like, okay, we can move on, and we can be rich, and we got away with the crime. But she dies at the end of the movie with them, and I don't know if you cried, but I certainly did. Very poignant.
You're just weeping.
Yeah. Well, before I started up this movie, I did read that there is a sequel to this movie. So I was like, oh, that's weird. How's there a sequel if she dies? I guess it's called Big Bad Mama 2, but it is just a reboot. It's like the same story again. And it's made in
Well,
87.
and Angie Dickinson is Wilma
It,
again, isn't she?
did she come? Yeah, she came back. That's crazy. So yeah, no, and it's not a direct sequel. The way it's described here is it's the film exists on a parallel plane with its predecessor, whatever the hell that means. So this is a time
I
loop movie.
as you describe all reboots.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Big Bad Mama is stuck in the same movie over and over again, and she has to escape.
There
Yeah,
you go.
I,
Um, I wanted to say like the shootout though, like even that one where they were all getting shot and everything, and like Tom Skerritt's just like blowing people away, and like so he's just like standing there like out in the open, and
yes,
like
yeah,
nobody for the longest time like pops a shot off at him. Like he does eventually get gunned down,
yeah, he dies.
uh, but like I just it's just funny. He was just like out in the open, just like and
Yeah,
and nobody had hit him like this whole time.
yeah, he's pulling an Arnold Schwarzenegger, just like he can't get shot for whatever reason for a long
Yeah,
time. Yeah, no, I thought that I did think that was funny too because I think I also noticed that I was like watching, like, huh, he's just not even hiding. Because if I remember right, Bonnie and Clyde, what like a lot of the shootouts, they're actually like using cover. They're like somewhat smart about it. Or even like this movie reminded. We've watched a few movies like this. Lady in Red was kind of what this movie also reminded me of. I
mhm.
feel what the Bonnie Parker story. Good Lord. And I think I picked all of these movies. I obviously
You
have
did.
I have something that I like, I guess, even though I don't think I really loved any of those movies.
I know you liked Lady in Red.
I did like Lady in Red. I did not like Bonnie Parker's story. Um,
No,
I do love Bonnie and Clyde though. So
but
I
do you love
that
this movie?
no, I did not like this movie. I think it was okay at best. It did gross me out, and I think that was a big part of it. I just didn't like the family sex storyline. I just thought like though, and it was played kind of be like, oh, check this out. This exploitation wasn't too into that. I don't think it's horrible. It was fun. I wasn't bored really, but it's nothing I would ever recommend.
I was
You're
pretty
bored?
skeeved out watching it. Like not
Yeah.
bored, but it was just I was kind of like I just wanted it to end, like type of thing. Where I was just like, yeah, I've kind of seen enough of this,
Yeah.
um,
But Nathan
but
picked it, so I have to watch it.
that's right. It's a Nathan
Uh-huh.
pick, like he picked the Overfiend and had all those wonderful scenes.
I
Just
don't know. I don't know if anything will top Overfeed.
so no, but no, to be I it's not like a horrible, horrible movie or anything like that, but it's just not one that's just like I would go back to or ever recommend to anybody.
No. But yeah, I think that puts the wrap on Big Bad Mama. But Ryan, remind us, what are we covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, we are going to be talking about Justice Ninja Style, and that is streaming on YouTube for free.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to stream that one on YouTube for free. That's gonna rock. Love it. No
I
ads,
love
right?
free.
Yeah, I do love free. That is true. But if you want to email us, you can email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Patreon, YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, we're probably there. But until next time.
Until next time.